All right, Nick, Green Bay Packers, a big win. This is a win against a Tom Brady-led team. They almost came back on you at the end. You're able to stave off that one, so that was a good one. And there may have been some players that got banged up, but it's not all as bad as it seems. And we've got some good news on those. And you got some guys that have been returning from injury who look good and limited participation. We got the word on those as well. But Packers fans, through the early part of this season, obviously a little bit of a rough start. There's so many new parts on this team. Everyone kind of has to get going, get more cohesive, but turning things around, looking really nice. Who has been the brightest spot on this team for you, whether it's offense, whether it's defense? A lot of new faces on this team. So let us know in the comments below who's been the bright spot on this team for you. But Nick, what's going on with the Packers injuries updates?
Yeah, so some good news actually was on the injury front for the Green Bay Packers. And let's start with cornerback Jaire Alexander. He left the game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the injury, but there's good news. So this is according to USA Today. Green Bay Packers cornerback Jaire Alexander is expected to undergo tests on his injured groin, but immediately after the game, he gave no indication that he had suffered a serious injury, a source said. After the game, Alexander did indicate that the injury was bothering him and he was in good spirits. As the Packers must always do with soft tissue injuries, they will do tests to see the full extent of the injury and base their assessment off that. Matt LaFleur said this, quote, "I saw him. He was smiling in the locker room, so I hope that's a good sign." All right, Miles, I don't know about you, but if I seriously pulled my groin or had a real kind of groin injury or something like that, which Jaire Alexander evidently had, caused him to leave the game, I would not be smiling after the fact. So this is
No.
definitely a good sign for the Green Bay Packers because Alexander is a definite beast. He's a great corner, one of the best in the NFL. For a Packers defense that's playing at an insanely high level the last 2 weeks, what they did to Tom Brady, they obviously did a number on Justin Fields the previous week. This is a talented defense at all three levels. So getting Jaire Alexander back after hopefully not missing any more time would be huge for the Packers. What are your thoughts on Alexander and just this Packers team overall?
Yeah, no, Alexander's incredible. And like to what you said, if I pull my groin and it's a serious injury, I'm looking more like Mac Jones going down the stairs
Yeah,
than I am Jaire
exactly.
Alexander. Okay. So it doesn't seem on the surface to be too serious. Obviously, they got to do more testing. They'll let us know. But Alexander is probably top five, easily best corners in the NFL. A true lockdown guy. The back end of this defense has been a little bit lackluster, so it's really nice to have a guy like Jaire Alexander on the edge here to lock down some guys. But I think this injury news, coupled with a couple other things, I think they mentioned that maybe the Christian Watson injury wasn't necessarily too bad. He could be coming back sooner, limited time miss. But this team overall on defense has been pretty impressive, and I think you have to give a lot of that credit to the play of Jaire Alexander, uh, because the interior of the defense, they've been growing, doing really well. Kenny Clark's shown well. Quay Walker, obviously, we really like him, really high on him. Devondre Campbell's been very good. Rashawn Gary's been very good. So you got a lot of good guys in the middle. But you have to couple that with good corners on the outside and have a special player like Jaire Alexander is so important. So it's really key that he doesn't miss too much time, and it doesn't seem that way, Nick. But on the other end of the ball, we have a little bit of news. David Bakhtiari is back in limited time, and he's looked good. What did you think about him so far?
So obviously getting him back on the field was huge. There's the funny meme, right? The Packers offensive lineman wearing T-shirts of Bakhtiari going to the game on the road, which I thought was a really cool thing because he's obviously hasn't played a lot over the last couple of years. And while he had limited snaps, I did kind of an every other series rotation. He played at an extremely high level. And according to PFF, David Bakhtiari received the highest pass blocking grade among all the Packers offensive linemen against the Buccaneers. So again, great start for Bakhtiari. I'm sure there were some concerns. Hey, how good was he going to be after the long extended delay? Having him back, arguably their most important offensive lineman, protecting Aaron Rodgers' blind side. He's obviously a great player when he's 100% healthy, is huge for this Packers offense. And obviously, you brought up Christian Watson. His mobility, his speed sweep action, his sheer athleticism, he adds another element to his Packers offense that teams have to respect. So getting him back in the fold will allow him to open things up a little bit more, I think, in weeks to come. So the fact that you got Bakhtiari getting better, back in the fold, he's probably going to be a full-time guy next week. You got Christian Watson, who's going to be coming back pretty soon. The injury didn't seem serious. There's a lot of things trending in the right direction for this Packers team right now, especially after coming off that week one defeat with two huge wins.
Yeah, and having Bakhtiari back against this pretty tough Tampa Bay defense, They were only able to get home on the quarterback one time during the game.
Yeah.
So that's got to be a big time improvement. When you're a guy like Aaron Rodgers, you're getting up there. You like to play clean football. You probably don't like to be taking too many hits, and he didn't. Elton Jenkins did well. Bakhtiari did well. Two bookend mainstay tackles. So that's the strong performance there. Just overall, it's so important to have this guy back, have him getting work back into the rotation. And once he's starting full time, I think you're going to see this offense morph. Rodgers is going to have time. I like to see Rodgers do the things that he normally does. And I think having Bakhtiari out there gets him a little more comfortable. You saw him a couple times. There was those, he clearly saw the Bucs had too many men on the field. And so he would give the sign and throw a route down there. Maybe it got picked off, but I love seeing Rodgers being comfortable, noticing those things, trying to get those quick gimme plays out. So you see him becoming more and more comfortable. The Green Bay that you know and love is coming back. So just give it a couple weeks. Bakhtiari is going to be back to full strength, and this offense is going to be humming once again.